I mean, it can't be that good. Fine. I'll give it a try. It's gonna be mid anyways.
3:28 a.m.
You gotta be
1, 2, 3, 4.
So I was wrong. That is the last time I will ever say this on this channel, but if there's something I've learned over the past 5 weeks of this new style of content, I am definitely wrong quite a few times. If you didn't see my last Spider-Man video, I'll catch you up to speed extremely quickly. In that video, I had throned Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man as the best MCU, best Disney Plus show ever. And at the time, I'd only seen the first 2 episodes of X-Men 97, which I had mentioned in that video because I got to see them at the Toronto Comic-Con premiere, and I wasn't overly impressed with the show, so I just didn't continue it. And oh boy, I really wish I fucking did, because it picks up like immediately after. And now after seeing the full season, it is safe to say I completely misjudged what this show is, and I might have been wrong in my take in the last video. I may no longer think Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is the best Disney Plus show, but we'll have to find out if it truly is going through these episodes of X-Men 97, starting with Alright, so to be honest, at first, I wasn't sure if you guys were onto something or not. Like I said, I had already seen these episodes, and I wasn't overly impressed. Yeah, it looks a lot better than Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and it has Rogue, but other than that, it didn't really have much going for it other than, yeah, it genuinely looks better. To just try and please you guys and say I was pleased in these first 2 episodes would be a lie. I didn't hate them, but I didn't love them. I mean, don't get me wrong, these episodes sure had some really cool moments, like them fighting the Sentinels at the end of episode 1, as well as Jean's visions of the future, which does come to play later on, which makes me really happy, as well as the trial against Magneto and him speaking there for the X-Men, and the attack that happens, ending with, I believe, Storm losing her powers. That was all a little crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I did not remember that, so maybe we only saw like the first episode at the premiere. I'm not actually sure, it's been a while. Now, in the entire second episode, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like Magneto was up to something, like he has a plan up his sleeve. I've never been a huge X-Men fan, by the way, so I don't know how well these characters get along or don't get along, yada yada. I've seen some of the movies, I've seen the Deadpool movies, but I was never like, oh my god, it's the X-Men. But my knowledge on some of these characters is a little bit low, keep that in mind. I wasn't sure if Magneto teaming up with them is like a normal thing, but it's definitely not a normal thing from the vibe I got and where we go in the future. But I really do like Magneto so far as a character. I like where his story goes, and you see those little bits be placed in here, the good and the evil in Magneto. He reminds me a little bit of Eren Yeager, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if that's a wild comparison, but Magneto stands on business, and he will do whatever he needs to get what he wants while trying to play by other people's rules. A group of people that, keep in mind, absolutely despise this guy. Yo, Isayama, did you write X-Men? Also think their powers are really cool. Like, the X-Men have some raw-ass fucking powers, like Cyclops' power. I think Rogue has the coolest power. Get ready for some Rogue glazing in this video, but she has, like, what? Super strength. She can, like, take people's like thoughts and like have their skills and abilities. She's badass. Rogue is like my favorite character in this show. She's one of the best written the more we go on, as well as Magneto. And I'm grouping these first 2 episodes together because I don't have much to say about them other than some major moments that happened. Jean had her baby, which we'll get into the baby later. And these 2 episodes end with a fake Jean, which was the first moment where I was like, oh, I beg your pardon? In this show, and it started to pull me in by the end of the second episode here. But again, I wasn't fully sold yet, but I was starting to enjoy the show once we got towards the end of the second episode. I think the biggest thing I have to give to the show so far is the action and the animation. It does look really good, really smooth. It's not my favorite animation style, but the first 2 episodes were okay, leaving us on a pretty big cliffhanger going into
More. I gotta have more.
Let's just say this episode did some things to me, I'm not gonna lie. This is where I fucking locked in. Fellas, you know why. But all jokes aside, episode 3 is genuinely when I started to lock into the show. Yes, that's one of the reasons. And number 2, this episode gave me like strong horror movie and mystery vibes. I don't know who the villain is of this episode, and who turns out to kind of be the main villain of the entire series. Again, I've never watched the original show. I've only watched the 90s Spider-Man, so
I am invincible. Get back here, Shocker! Shocker! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
this is one of the episodes I was more so really excited to talk about because I love horror movies. I love haunted mansions. When One Piece did this in the live action, I absolutely love that. I've glazed that before. I love horror stuff and tight-spaced horror stuff. And mixing it with, like, superheroes and superpowers is always such a cool and fun idea because you never really see superheroes in a horror movie situation. And I just gotta say, I really wasn't ready for this episode. Cloning, evil clones, bad evil clones, and horror movie stuff. This episode was actually crazy. So let me break it down super quick. After the major cliffhanger in episode 2 where we have this other Gene coming to the door, they start to begin tests to see who is the real Gene, finding out that the one that was with us for the first 2 episodes was actually a clone made at some point in time. I don't think it's ever specifically said, and that's a big part of the thing going later on is whose memories were real, and there's a really good story in that. But for now, she fucking goes crazy learning that she's the clone. No fault to her own, fault of the vampire goth evil guy. I don't know his name. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get so many people mad. I just know it. But that's what ensues the events of the creepy haunted mansion, and it was a lot of fun. The end of the episode is something that was a lot deeper than I was expecting. Because you see, instead of just fighting her evil twin, Jean decides to take them both down a trip of memories, not knowing which one is hers and which one is the clone's, coming to the realization that maybe it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, it's not like you can go back and remake it. You still remember it, you still feel it, you still feel like you were there, so what does it matter which one of them was there? And I don't know, I thought that was a pretty nice, beautiful way to end that arc, really showing the emotional side of these characters. And the episode comes to an even sadder end with them having to say goodbye to their baby. It got some kind of sickness. I'm not quite sure what happened, honestly, but it got a sickness, and now it is being sent to the future. Cyclops feeling like he's a deadbeat dad, and I don't know. I think when the only way to save your son is to send him to the future, you get the pass, because at the end of the day, you're doing what's best for your kid, saving his life. Episode 3 was fantastic. It kind of gave me a vision of why people are liking the show so much. The action was great. The story was really good. The writing was phenomenal with the characters, especially when it came to Jean and Cyclops. Man, I feel bad for my boy. First, he finds out his wife's a clone, and then he don't know which one he's really in love with, and then his baby has to go to the future. This guy's got it rough, but not as rough as... I know I might get some hate here, but I've been waiting to say this. I do not fucking like episode 4. I don't know if there's fans of episode 4. I would assume that there is. Now, quickly get this out of the way. I like that each X-Men has almost their own episode to grow and develop their character, so you understand who they are, their goals, their journey, so when it gets to some bigger moments, you actually care about these characters. I appreciate that, so I understand why this episode needed to happen. I will also say I liked so much of the messaging in this episode about the fear of growing up, but how that's okay. You know, life goes on, and that's part of the beauty, is that people aren't there forever. You're not who you are forever. That's part of the journey of life, and that's what makes it so beautiful, is that it will come to an end one day. A really good episode of living life to the fullest and appreciating those you have and what you have in your life. I wasn't sold on the episode. It kind of felt like if the entirety of Ninjago Prime Empire was put into one 11-minute episode, and then a completely different story was the second half of this episode, which I liked Storm's plot maybe a little bit more, because again, it had some of that horror elements with like the creepy demon bird, but I wasn't caring too much in this episode. That's more for the later episode with Storm. But for the Jubilee stuff, I liked the messaging of it. I liked the symbolism. I don't care for Jubilee as a character or the other dude she's with. In fact, I'm pretty sure I forgot to even mention him in episode 1. That's the thing they do. They go to get him for some reason. I forgot. I didn't care for that side of the plot. I didn't care for those characters. So this episode was more of a, what's going on Instagram today kind of episode for me, which I know that's going to piss off some people, but I don't know, man. I just didn't love this episode. I thought it was kind of boring. But the next episode, holy
Sugar. I can't feel you.
How we are in my favorite, if not my favorite episode of the entire series. This episode was fucking insane. This is my genuine reaction after finishing the episode. There's no way Magneto and Gambit just died. What?
I can't feel you.
What? Anyone who commented, watch X-Men 97? I'm coming for you. And I want you all to know I stand by that. I think you're all monsters for recommending this show, because what the fuck was this episode? On God, this shit took the biggest fucking 180 turn I've ever seen in, like, this is some, like, this is some anime shit where everything is just calm and beautiful, and out of fucking nowhere, shit hits the fan in the most insane way possible. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. What happens in this episode? So we have two storylines in this episode. Number one is focused on Jean and Cyclops. The UN, I believe, has finally agreed to see mutants as part of society and work together. And the news is going to interview the X-Men at the X-Mansion, which, by the way, I've been to when I was a kid. It was actually in my hometown. Here's some pictures, if you don't believe me. Pretty cool place, pretty cool place. But yeah, he's getting interviewed in there, and he kind of starts tweaking out a little bit. He starts freaking out, while Jean is also trying to figure out, like, yo, who am I? Who do I love? What memories are mine? And yeah, I like the plot. I don't want to talk about that. It's a good plot. It's entertaining. Her kissing Wolverine kind of pissed me off, because what are you doing? You're either oh, that made me so mad. I feel so bad for Wolverine. But episode 5, dog. Sorry. The second plot of the episode. I'm getting. Let me pause this for a second. Okay, I've taken a moment. I've taken a breather. Let's discuss the second part of this episode. That really fucked with me. I'm not gonna lie. So the second part of this episode is seeing what is like this mutant utopia where mutants are free to live, be themselves, and they want Magneto to be the new head of it. So some of the X-Men are over there to oversee that negotiations and all that good stuff go well. Fuck you, that shit doesn't go well. Yes, for majority of the episode, it's sweet. it's cheery. Rogue's off, having me simp for the entire episode, being like, oh my god. Listen, fellas, I don't even care if a touch would kill me. I'm going for pulling off the Riz. Anyways, I feel bad for my bro Gambit. My bro Gambit is just there. He's enjoying the place, but he's also looking around, and he's just, this dude is down bad for Rogue. He is in love. Making like the next part of this kind of rough when Magneto is like, yo, the only way I'll agree to oversee this place is if you be the queen with me. I beg your fucking pardon, you old Sorry, I lost my cool. But she agrees, and there's a really sad scene between Magneto and Gambit where he's trying to argue that they have this deep relationship and bond. It's deeper than skin. That line comes back, and that line will haunt me for the rest of my life. And she goes, nah, it ain't like that. Turns out, it was like that. It was like that very much, because as soon as she kisses Magneto, she's like, yeah, you know what, some things are deeper that she wants Gambit. Or at least that's the way I pictured it. Was after that kiss, she was like, they used to have that thing, but she is in love with Gambit. And then, unfortunately, Cable comes out of nowhere and sees clone Jean, which hot take, I like a little bit more than regular Jean. I think her story is more interesting with her being a clone. But that doesn't matter, because she fucking dies, and giant robots come and start attacking the entire island, killing so many people. And dog, ooh, y'all are some fucking y'all are some monsters, bro. So the end of this episode, it's like a stand. Magneto, Rogue, and Gambit versus this giant fucking robot monster, dude. Magneto seemingly just dies, holding this like little green guy. Oh, that also had me really sad, because the little green guy was like, no, don't worry, I don't gotta be scared anymore. Magneto said I don't gotta be scared. And then he dies, like, with Magneto trying to, oh, this shit fucked me up. Died trying to save him, and then Rogue, seeing Magneto just died, has her anime rage moment, only to be stopped by Gambit, because yeah, she was about to, she ashes on the sidewalk in a couple seconds. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Y'all know what happens, right? Y'all know what fucking happens. After saving Fine Ship from Fortnite, after the old guy from Fortnite died, make a name for myself from Fortnite, decides that he's him, and it doesn't end well. In a really good sacrifice scene, beautifully animated, beautifully voice acted, Gambit, he doesn't make it. He doesn't make it. He destroys a giant robot, but coming at the cost of his own life, with just the saddest fucking ending to an episode. They did that thing where you hear the character's voice say the name or say something really sad, and it just cuts to black, and you just hear that kind of echo a little bit over the black screen while the sad music fades in. I'm not watching anything you motherfuckers recommend me again. You guys are sick individuals. Oh, Chris, watch X-Men 97. Oh, Chris, you're gonna love episode 5. It really... Yo, y'all are fake. My friends are fake. Episode 6.
A king with no crown, a king with no crown. I'm just a white boy, oh baby, it's so cool, but I'm still in love with you, this baby. I'm just a white boy, oh baby, it's so cool, but I'm still in love with you, this baby.
I gotta be honest, episode 6 is another episode I really didn't care for that much. Not a big fan of Charles Xavier or, again, Storm. I think, again, some of Storm's plot is cool. The animation was great. The creepy demon bird thing was really cool. Other than Charles popping what I can only call a domain expansion, classes in session, mid-episode. I didn't love it. I didn't overly enjoy it. I didn't hate it. I just... Episode 7.
Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, that's sweet, I kiss so.
Oh. Hope y'all are ready for this Glaze Fest, because it's about to happen. I loved episode 7 is probably where I was like, yeah, I love this show. I'm liking some of these characters. Rogue is by far my favorite character. Not only is she an absolute baddie, also I forgot to mention this, but her in episode 5, oh my god, That shit had me wishing I could jump through the screen. I'm not gonna lie. But before I get flamed in the comments for being a simp, Rogue is actually, not only is she a very, very, very attractive animated character, but she's also extremely fucking badass. Like, I'm not exactly sure what her power set is, but oh my god, she might as well be like Superman or Invincible, the way she's just taking down motherfuckers left and right, not even breaking a sweat, throwing around a tank like it's literally a toy to her. Taking on Captain America. She also looks really cool with the shield, by the way. But this episode was almost completely centered around Rogue and her revenge quest, her anger, hunting down who killed the motherfucker who was gonna make a name for himself and her old fine shit from the Fortnite Battle Pass, okay? She was not fucking happy. She couldn't run trios with them anymore. I'm sorry. I'll stop. I won't make any more Fortnite jokes. So anyways, by the end of her quest for vengeance, the X-Men end up finding her, and they find this one lab dude who is a part of the attack, and she goes fucking crazy. Like, she just straight up kills this guy. She doesn't even care. Also, the animation out here in the night with the rain and the lighting looks sick. And just when you think the episode's about to end, you think the episode's over, this fucking dude punches the shit out of the building, and you're just like, yo, dog, what the fuck just happened? And then Cable comes out of fucking nowhere, and the episode ends.
I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blow. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way.
These last 3 episodes are what made me go from, the X-Men are okay, I'm not a big fan of them, to holy shit, I want to watch everything involving the X-Men, because god fucking damn it, this was the rawest shit I have ever seen. Everyone, and I mean everyone in this episode, is putting in their fucking A game. The fight scenes are insane, like from the jump, what I can only assume to be a robot mutant apocalypse. It happens, where now every mutant is being hunted down to be killed, and it is insane. It's fucking city-wide. Like, the entire city or town are all just these sentinel beings that want to kill the mutants, and it just keeps going on and on and on. My favorite fight by far is with Knight Rider or the blue dude and fucking Wolverine, while Rogue is just there snoozing, knocked out from getting absolutely domed by that one robo-scientist dude. And it's just like the long shot of them, and they're like back to back. He's teleporting around. Wolverine is just stabbing around like they're out of energy. They keep getting back up, but they keep fucking going. Oh my god, it was the rawest shit I've ever fucking seen out of a Marvel project. Like, yo, MCU. I guess this is MCU, but live action MCU. Take fucking notes. Oh my god, dude. Just like this might as well have been a movie with how crazy it was. Anyways, Magneto gets free from his captive. Yeah, Magneto is still alive. I did forget to bring that up. Magneto's alive. He gets free, and he's like, okay, the humans are trying to kill us now, so you know what? Let's reverse Uno that shit. Let's fucking kill them. And then some people are honest, like, Rogue is like, you know what? Type shit. And the new dude is also kind of like, yeah, they ain't fuck with me, so I don't fuck with them, kind of thing. That leads to another really cool battle where I thought Wolverine died for a second. I actually almost shit myself, dude. I swear to God, I was fucking I was like, yo, there's no way they just killed off Wolverine. This show, are they just gonna kill off all the X-Men? How do people like this show? Like, oh my God. Also, I wouldn't have been mad if they killed Wolverine there. I want to make that clear, because that would have been a crazy twist, and I would have loved to have seen that in Season 2. Also, by the way, we got so many cameos in this. We got, like, Daredevil, we got Spider-Man, MJ, we got Spider-Man twice, actually, which is insane. Please, can we get, like, a Spider-Man 98? Because I did watch that show growing up, and I'd love to see a continuation of it, because I do love that Spider-Man. I do love that Spider-Man, but I am happy with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It is peak. But I'm not even done that, because towards the end of the finale, they get everything kind of resolved. Charles goes in to fucking Magneto's brain using his domain expansion and gets him back to being level-headed and chill. And now they gotta deal with the fact that the ship, the giant rock asteroid thing they're in, if it comes crashing towards Earth, is going to fucking kill everybody. So now the X-Men have to figure out some way to make sure that that doesn't happen, because evil dude made sure that this thing was going down and was going to be tanked. And then there's a huge fight at the end right before that happened, which is really sick. Again, I don't really remember the villains' names. I'm not gonna lie, the villains were extremely unforgettable. I liked the moments with all the characters. I think seeing Dark Phoenix was really cool. I'm all over the place in this finale, I'm starting to realize, so I apologize for the last 3 episodes. I seem to be all over the place. But seeing Dark Phoenix was really cool, and the stuff with Cable, I mean, like, I like his parents, but I'm not too attached to Cable, although the final goodbye moment with him getting to see his dad's eyes and us seeing his eyes was a pretty bittersweet moment. I'm not gonna lie, I liked that, but I'm not necessarily attached to Cable, so when any of the Cable stuff was going on, when it looked like all the X-Men were going to die, I wasn't too bummed out there. I thought it would have actually been cool if some of the X-Men there died and we had like this apocalypse on Earth where the villains are like taking over. I thought it was gonna be like some big cliffhanger like that, where like Earth was overrun with these monsters and then there's only like a couple X-Men left. But no, it's a little crazier than that. While trying to stop the asteroid from crashing into Earth, they end up like using all of their powers to stop it. And I guess maybe the mixture of their powers or something, I don't know what happened in the end there, but they end up in different time streams. They end up all the way back to the first mutant and all the way into the far future where I believe Cable is from. And it's low-key a crazy cliffhanger, because we see like a couple months after that event where everyone now thinks the X-Men are dead, or like they're presumed dead, they can't be found, but no, they're just like literally spread across the timeline, which is insane. So as of me just wrapping up editing this video, we have officially became a YouTube partner. And I just wanted to interject quick here in the end. Sorry that I look like a mess. I've been editing this video for the past 3 days. I've been literally editing for like 26, 27 hours right now. I'm very tired. I don't know if you could tell, but I've had fun making this video. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for all the support on the recent Spider-Man and Marvel videos. Hopefully this video does well. And I make lots of money from it. No, but for real, hopefully it does well, because I had 3 days, man. This was a lot of work, but I really enjoyed X-Men 97. This was such a fun time. I don't know, it just felt like a breath of fresh air, and the fight scenes were so good, especially in the last episode, like the hallway scene with Wolverine. It was peak. I'm glad that I decided to listen to you guys and watch this. You guys just kept commenting. I'm like, you know what? I think we'll make a good video. People keep saying it's good. I literally thought it can't be that good. I heard about the infamous episode 5, but if only I truly knew, I would have watched this a lot sooner. But I'm a little glad I didn't, because I think I got at least a decent video out of it. But hopefully I don't have any more copyright issues. I've had a couple. That's why there's some covers of different songs and like weird audio versions of some of them, because I tried my best to use the real songs or as unedited as possible with some of them, like espresso or whatever needed to be edited. And What Is a Man? I literally, when I was watching the Wolverine scene, that song popped in my head, and I knew immediately how I had to edit the video so I can make that edit happen. But for real, thank you guys so much for watching this video if you've seen it all the way through, and for the support. I really appreciate it. I honestly didn't think this channel would be going anywhere. So just, I guess, last word of advice is don't give up, because you never know when it might go right and when you might do it right. You guys seem to like the Spider-Man video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for watching. As usual, don't cry because it's over, but smile because it happened. You can leave the video now. I'm going to bed.